Have you ever been to Branson, Missouri? If you have, please be sure to tell me about it in the comments below. Wes and I just got back from our first family vacation with our kids and our grandkids, and it was loads of fun. Our daughter went, our son and his family went. They have 3 kids, and we had a blast. Hello everybody, this is Michelle Fox and welcome back to The Simple Quilter. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you about the quilt shops that I visited in the Branson area. I'm going to be sharing with you the items that I bought, and I'm also going to be sharing with you some of the must-see attractions we saw. Let's start with the quilt shops. The first quilt shop that I got to visit was the Quilts and Quilts, the fabric shop. This was a very, very nice quilt shop. This is a quilt shop that has been owned by 3 generations of women. Cindy DeMeyer and her daughter Lacey Colbert run this quilt shop together. Cindy ran it before with her mother, and it is just a very nice quilt shop. The store has moved to a different location. It was damaged. Cindy was telling me that it got damaged in a storm, and they did relocate to this building some time ago. But this building is nice. It's big. It's a great place for a quilt shop. Some of the things that I really liked about this quilt shop is that, number one, had a very large selection of fabrics. It was well stocked with fabrics and notions. They had a lot of displays, which is always something that I like to see. If I see a quilt made up into a quilt, I'm more likely to buy a pattern, so that was really nice to see all that. They had 2 rooms designated for clearance fabrics, which I thought was really neat. I had never seen a quilt shop that had 2 rooms for clearance fabrics, but that was nice to see. There may have even been more. I had a little bit of a time constraint going on. I didn't want to leave Wes out in the car too long, so I did notice those too. Again, the customer service here was great. Beautiful quilt shop, well stocked. They had a room designated for flannels. They had lots of neat t-shirts. Another thing that I like about this quilt shop is that it had great holiday sections. It had a section for Halloween and fall fabrics. It was huge. You can see a picture of it here. They had a section that was just, I think, for bees. The color scheme for this row was yellow, black, gray, and white, and I like those colors. So you can see here their collection of bee fabrics. And then here is a picture of their holiday, their Christmas fabrics, and it is quite large. This quilt shop also has a nice selection of wool patterns and kits and wool fabrics. But overall, this is a quilt shop to visit. The second quilt shop I wanted to talk about is the Quilted Cow. It was located in Branson West. This quilt shop was established in 2010 by 3 friends who just wanted to get together to sew. And then one of the friends later became the owner. She's expanded. She has 4 locations now. One's in Branson, one is in Springfield, and then she has a couple of other locations. The thing I really liked about this quilt shop was the lighting. The lighting was incredible. It was well lit, and as I get older, that becomes more and more important. So beautiful lighting, easy to see everything. It was well organized. The thing I thought was really neat and kind of set this quilt shop apart from others is the number of kits that they had. They had kits for bags, pouches, pillows, table runners, wall hangings, quilts, and lots of small projects. You can find them on social media. They also have an app you can download to shop their site. And again, you can check out their website listed in the description below. They have a subscription box that I may have to check out. I'm not the biggest fan of subscription boxes simply because As you can see right here, they sit in my quilt room, but I'm curious to see what their subscription box is like. The third quilt shop I visited was called Homestead Fabrics and Quilts. It was a nice little quilt shop. It was established in 2021. This is owned by Ashley McAfee and Karen Blair. They have recently taken this quilt shop over. This had some neat displays. It had quite a bit of wool for those of you who like wool applique. Ashley and Karen were friendly. They have a long arm quilting machine. And again, it was a nice little shop. There was a fourth shop. I had wanted to visit this, but for some reason we didn't make it. It was called JDawn's. It's in Hollister, just like the Homestead Fabrics and Quilts. I didn't get to go to that one, but I would like to have gone to that one too. So you might want to check that one out also. If you've been to any of these quilt shops, be sure to tell me about that in the comments below. Tell me which one's your favorite. And if there's some in the area that I missed, be sure to tell me about those. I want to show you some of the things I purchased. The first two things I want to show you are t-shirts because I love t-shirts so much. This has 3/4 length sleeves, which is my favorite length of sleeve. And this is so cute. It says, "My machine is calling and I must answer." All my stuff came in a bag that has the same saying, and this is a reusable bag, just cute as can be. The second t-shirt I bought, they had some neat shirts. Neat shirts. This shirt says, "Quilting forever, housework whenever." Isn't that the truth? Whether we quilt or not, the older I get, the less fond I become of housework and cooking. Tell me in the comments below if you feel the same way. Another cute shirt. These were on sale, I believe. And these are nice. I'm looking forward to getting to wear those. You'll see those in one of my videos, I'm sure. Probably more than one. I did buy some fabric. I didn't buy a bunch of fabric because I have so much, but I did buy 3 yards of a white on white fabric. You can't see it from there, but this has little bubbles on it. Really neat fabric that I purchased. I don't know about you all, but when they have these in quilt shops, I love to get these. These are just emery boards. I can toss in my purse. I can toss them in my travel bags. I can keep one in my car for when I get a snag on one of my fingernails. I like these little emery boards. In the comments below, tell me if you buy those too. I bought this book called Color Basics for Makers. I'm really not the best with color theory, and I wanted to learn more about this. This is an interactive guide, it says here, to help you understand and apply the fundamentals of color. I like this because it gives you activities you can do, little exercises you can do to help build your confidence with using color and color theory. So I did purchase this. This is written by Lee Monroe. I purchased this Quilt Genius graph paper pad. Now, Quilt Genius also sells a design toolkit. I didn't buy the toolkit, but I did buy this pad of design paper. And the reason I purchased this is because it has the 1/4 of an inch squares. It has the 1/4 of an inch squares on the diagonal or on point. And it has a 1/4 of an inch isometric sheets that has triangles in it, and I really like that feature. I think this is good for designing. Even though I have EQ8, I'm not the most proficient using it, and I still like to sketch things out on paper. So that's a nice little graph paper pad. I bought 2 neat books. I like to do word finds and other puzzles. These, I just couldn't pass these up. These are called Happy Quilter. This is the Volume 2 and Volume 3. It has word finds, logic puzzles, word roundups, word scrambles, word minds, crossword puzzles. I cannot pass them up. I like to do these. I like to have them in the camper and in my quilt room for when I just have a few minutes. I purchased these pre-cut, pre-fused applique letters that spell family. They're pretty large. You can see based on the size of my hand, they're pretty large letters. I saw a quilt in there using flannels that I want to try to make, and I just thought it would be easier to use the pre-cut letters that they had. You can definitely make these on your own, but I just wanted to use what they already had cut. And I didn't think they were too expensive. I ordered a Stay Put pedal pad. I've used this non-slip fabric, this non-slip material before. This is just shelf paper that's non-slip, but it always seemed to be moving around and rolling up, so I purchased this to see if it would work any better. It has a small binding around the edge. I guess you could make your own binding. If this works, that may be what I have to do, but this is 9 by 9 by 1/8 of an inch, so I'm hoping this will work. I'll have to tell you more about that later. I bought these new reusable, removable adhesive seam guides. I wanted to try them out. These are put out by Guidelines for Quilting. I've never used these before. I've used the little vinyl pieces. The vinyl pieces work well, but I saw these and I wanted to give these a try. I like to try different notions. I purchased a pattern. This is called the Hudson bag, and I'm not exactly sure why I bought this. I really liked the sample bag they had sitting there, and I thought I could make that. I'm not a real bag maker, but I don't even know if I'll buy it. I didn't buy the kit, which I should have, to be able to get the hardware, but anyway, I may have to actually order the hardware pack. It says here that it's available on their website, so I may try to make this bag. I think I'd learn a lot about just sewing other things and quilting if I made this bag. Another thing I purchased was this Moda Modern Building Blocks. I really wasn't for sure what it was about, but it's just this collection of blocks, and this is why I purchased it. You can see the blocks there. Each little page that flips out has a different block on it. This has 48 blocks. It has two 6-inch blocks, a 30-inch block, one 24-inch block, 5 18-inch blocks, 9 12-inch blocks, and 36-inch blocks. And I bought this thinking I could use this to make my own quilt, design my own quilts. Well, when I opened it up, it shows the Modern Building Blocks quilt. So you can make use all those blocks to make this, but I want to use it to make blocks and then design or come up with my own quilt layout. So I thought that was pretty neat. If you have purchased any of these products, if you've made anything using these products, please be sure to tell me about it in the comments below. I'd love to hear how these products have worked out for you. So again, tell me in the comments below about any of these items that you may have used or purchased and used. The next thing I want to share with you are some must-see attractions in the Branson area. Now, the first one actually is in Springfield, Missouri. We stopped there on the way to Branson. Now, we purchased our tickets online, and we purchased a group of tickets. The first tickets were for the Wonders of Wildlife Museum and Aquarium there at the Bass Pro Shop. It was super, super neat. The kids loved it. Our grandkids loved it. We loved it. Now, when you go, don't forget to check out the Wildlife Museum. The aquarium is there, and it is really something to see, but the Wildlife Museum has a wonderful collection of taxidermy of taxidermy wildlife. They've set it in neat settings, and they have neat displays, and it was definitely worth seeing. So if you go to the aquarium, don't forget to see the museum. Wes and I have been to the Bass Pro Shop in Springfield before, and this is just a great thing for him to get to see. He's good about waiting while I am looking in quilt shops. He doesn't mind doing that, but I think it's only fair that I return the favor and let him look in his favorite shops, which involve hunting and fishing. Now, the Bass Pro Shop has several small free museums within just that shop. There's a fly fishing shop, a fly fishing museum, a small race car museum, an archery museum. I think there's one with guns or rifles, but there's lots of things to look at while your husband shops. And your husband might even enjoy those museums. In Branson, we went to one of Johnny Morris's attractions. Well, actually 2 of them. And we purchased those tickets at the same time that we purchased the aquarium tickets, and we got a really nice discount on all those tickets by purchasing them ahead of time and purchasing them in a bundle. Johnny Morris's Top of the Rock attraction, located near the Big Cedar Lodge, is a neat one to go to. The nature trail, the nature and cave trail were really fun. You ride these golf carts through this big nature area. You go over some wooden bridges. You get to see some waterfalls. You get to drive through a little cave area. It was a lot of fun. The golf carts were well done. There's also a museum there called the Ancient Ozarks Natural History Museum, and it was incredible. Wes and I love to go to museums. If you like to visit museums that have Indian artifacts, you don't want to miss this one. This was incredible. The layout was fantastic. It was a beautiful museum and had the largest collection of Indian artifacts that Wes and I had seen in any museums. The prehistoric animals that were displayed, that was a lot of fun to see. And again, it was just a beautiful, beautiful museum with lots to see. Another must-see place is the Keeter Center at the College of the Ozarks. That was a really neat place to visit. They have a creamery. They have their own dairy. They have a greenhouse you can tour. They have a mill and a general store. They have a couple of museums there. I think I mentioned the creamery. And the neat thing is that the students make the products and sell the products and work there. There's a lodge there that you can stay at. You gotta book your reservations early because it stays booked. They have a dining hall. It's called Dobbin's Dining Room, I think. We ate there and the food was excellent. It was an excellent experience. It was by far the best food we ate on our trip. My son and his wife and their kids sampled the ice cream earlier that day and they said it was incredible. They also have a winery and gift shop where you can purchase items that the students have made. These are very well done. They're high quality products. They have a section of quilts. You can see here a picture of some of the quilts for sale. You can go online and check out this place if you ever want to visit it. You will probably need reservations to be able to dine there, or you will have to go early and as a walk-in to get a spot to eat. But it was a neat place. We were glad we did that. Now, some other places that were fun for us and our grandkids. We went to the Butterfly Palace. They had a great video on the migration of the monarchs. They had a fun mirror maze that was fun to go through with our grandkids. We also went to Branson Landing and went shopping. We had fun shopping and eating out down there. We saw the Water and Fire show during the daytime, and then later in the evening when it was dark, it was fun to do that. And the shopping, it was pretty good. It was a lot of fun. And if your husbands don't like to shop, at clothing stores and stuff like that, there's the Bass Pro Shops down there they can shop in. And that's right along Lake Taneycomo. Just a beautiful spot to visit. In the comments below, please be sure to tell me your favorites to visit. If you've been to Branson, tell me your favorite quilt shops if you live in that area, or if you have had the opportunity to visit any of the quilt shops in that area. We had such a great time. It was a lot of fun. Be sure to tell me about your trip if you went, and until next time, have fun quilting.